Hello, welcome to the AJ6 guide to how to be a Gabbai, part 1. A Gabbai is the person who kind of manages the Torah service in a weekday or a Shabbat morning Shachrit service or a Shabbat afternoon Mincha service. They're the person that calls people up to read from the Torah and then gives them the blessing afterwards, the Misha Berach prayer afterwards. So this first part we're going to talk about how to call people up, the tunes, etc. So the first of all we're going to deal with how to call up the first person, typically a Kohen. There are 7 call-ups on a Saturday morning, 3 during the week, 3 on a Saturday afternoon, 7 on a Saturday morning. The first one would be reserved for a Kohen, the second one for a Levi, and the third onwards for everyone else. If you don't have a Kohen or a Levi present, then you're allowed to shift the respective people up in the order. But the first one is typically for a Kohen. I'm going to give the version for if you do have a Kohen first. So in this book, this is the old Singer's Prayer Book. This is on page 367. In this book, this is the new Singer's Prayer Book, the Sachs Prayer Book. This is on page 484. In this book, this is the Gabbai's Handbook, the Art Scroll Gabbai Handbook. It's on page 4, and in this book, which is called Tanu Kavod LaTorah, the call-up book, the United Synagogue call-up book, it's on page 1.
V'yazor v'yagen v'yoshia l'chol hachosim po v'nomar amen hakol havugot Eloheinu utanu kavod l'Torah Kohen karov yamod ploni ben ploni hakohen Baruch Shanatam Torah Le'amo Yisrael B'kedushato V'atem Advekim Adonai Elohechem Chaim Kulchem Hayom.
In this second version, we're going to talk about exactly the same liturgy, but this time for if there's not a Kohen present. In the previous version, you would say Kohen Karov, the Kohen is near, and then Yamod, stand, Ploni ben Ploni HaKohen, Joe blogs the Kohen. In this case, if there's not a Kohen present, instead of saying Kohen Karov, the Kohen is near, you say Ein Kan Kohen, there is no Kohen here. Yamod, stand, Ploni ben Ploni, Joe blogs, Bimkom Kohen, in place of the Kohen. So here's that text again with the differences for if there's not a Kohen present.
V'yazor v'yagen v'yoshia l'chol hachosim bo v'nomar amen hakol havugot Eloheinu tanu kavod l'Torah ein kan kohen yamod ploni ben ploni Bimkom Kohen Baruch Shanatam Torah Le'amo Yisrael B'kedushato V'atem Hadvekim Adonai Elohechem Chaim Kulchem Hayom.
So this third version that we're going to look at now is only for if you attend a really stuffy and old-fashioned synagogue. There is a much longer version of this call-up prayer. It's in fact so stuffy that it's not in the new version of the Singer's Prayer Book, the green one. So if you want to use it, you have to use this version of the Singer's Prayer Book or older than this, and you can find it on page 367.
V'yazor v'yagen v'yoshia l'chol hachosim bo v'nomar amen hakol havugot Eloheinu utanu kavod l'Torah Kohen karov yamod ploni ben ploni hakohen Baruch Shnatam Torah Le'amo Yisrael B'kedushato Torat Adonai Timima Meshivat Nefesh Edut Adonai Ne'emana Machkimat Peti פיקודי אדוני ישרים, משמחי לב מצוות אדוני ברמה יראת עיניים. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. האל תמים דרכו, אמרת אדוני צרופה מגנו לכל החוסים בו. ואתם הדבקים באדוני אלוהיכם, חיים כולכם היום.
Finally, we're going to have a look at the version of the prayers that you would say if you're calling up someone for a Saturday afternoon Torah reading for Shabbat Mincha, or for a weekday Shachrit Torah reading. The set of prayers is very different at the beginning. I'm going to use the version for if there is a Kohen. The changes for if there's not a Kohen are exactly the same as with the Saturday morning ones. This prayer can be found on page 115 of this book, page 122 of this book, page 1 of this book, and finally page 4 of this book.
ותגלב תראה מלכותו עלינו בזמן קרוב, ויחון פליטתנו ופליטת עמו בית ישראל, לכן חסד ורחמים ולרצון ונאמר אמן. הכל הבוגות אל אלוהינו ותנו כבוד לתורה, כהן קרוב יעמוד פלוני בן פלוני הכהן, ברוך שנתן תורה לעמו ישראל בקדושתו. ואתם הדבקים באדוני אלוהיכם, חיים כולכם היום.